Hello, welcome back to the Always Dreaming Bigger podcast with me, Bree. I am so excited to have you. I'm so grateful. If you're new here, of course, I'm excited and so grateful for you, but welcome. I hope you absolutely love this podcast. Of course, whether you're new or you've been listening, I hope you love it, but don't be afraid. Leave me a rate, a review. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm over there, Always Dreaming Bigger Pod. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, how you feel about the podcast, if you have anything you want me to talk about, but I'd love to hear. So anyways, let's dive right in. Like always, I don't want to waste your time because I know that it is valuable. So today I really want to talk about stepping into our power, because stepping into our power is so massive, obviously. I feel like that's just a given, right? When you talk about stepping into your power. And stepping into your power is really just embodying your highest self. And by highest self, I mean the one that makes you the most fulfilled, of course. The one who is just doing the things that you desire to do, going after it, allowing their dream to come true. Just that baddie you that knows you're a baddie and is just taking that inspired action and doing the things. So I want to talk to you guys about what I do to really step into my power, embody it, because of course we don't always wake up every single morning just in it, right? Like, just like motivation doesn't exist unless you're talking to Mel Robbins, motivation is BS and doesn't exist. It is our job to get into that energy, much like it is our job to motivate ourselves to get up and do the things. And so of course I'm going to just dive into the things that I do that help me step into my power, which of course, everything that I've talked about to this point on my episodes have all really helped do that. And of course, just shift my mindset, because that's what this is all about, is shifting that mindset. Sorry, I had my feet on this thing and it almost just tipped me over with it. Anyways, let's dive right in. So first thing, of course, like always, is rewriting those mean girl thoughts, those limiting beliefs, the negative thoughts that come in, like me second guessing myself or questioning myself. It's always about rewriting those and changing the narrative, because it's normal to have those come in, right? Like, it happens to us all. Oh my goodness. It happens to all of us. But it's not okay to let those hold you back, or to believe that it's true that you're like not capable of something. So that's the first thing always. Next thing would be affirmations. And of course, I'm going to talk about these a lot because affirmations are huge. Everybody talks about them, right? They're massive, but it's not just about saying them. Because of course I talked about this before, but you could literally like just say like, oh, I'm a millionaire, like all day long. But if you don't actually mean it and you don't put that inspired action behind it, of course you're not one, right? So affirmations are huge, but you need to put the energy and the inspired action behind them. And so one thing, like I'm probably going to do a full episode on like my favorite affirmations, but one thing that I love to do is when I go to start to do something like, to push me towards my goals, my dreams, is I get myself pumped up with my affirmations. So I remind myself like, dude, I am literally so freaking capable. I have got this. And I also give myself proof, because sometimes we struggle. We think we can't do something because we're like, our brain is like, oh, well, we failed. Or, maybe you failed at that before, or you failed at something else. So you're like, oh, I'm a failure or something. It could be anything. But I will literally just give myself that proof. And sometimes it has to do with that specific thing at hand. So like when it comes to this podcast, of course, sometimes I have those thoughts where I'm like, the imposter syndrome kicks in. And I'll be like, dude, I literally am made for this. And my proof with this comes from the fact that I, of course, have spent years working on my own mindset shifts and have seen like so many changes that have come along with it that have just, obviously been incredible, which is why I'm sharing it. But before that, like when I didn't have that proof, before I even thought about that proof, my proof was that I had a friend message me to tell me that I was made for this. And before that, my proof was literally, had nothing to even do with the podcast. My proof was literally like, girl, you wanted to become a licensed massage therapist at one point in time, and you absolutely rocked that. You literally passed like a whole state test, and you had a career and like you were incredible, and you second guess yourself all the time. You, for some reason, even though you literally were licensed to do massage, like you sometimes felt that imposter syndrome where you were like, I don't even know what I'm doing, even though you literally went to school for it for months. So like, you know, I had to remind myself of that. Like, even though it had nothing to do with the podcast, right? It had to do with my massage career. I had to remind myself, like, I did that. I absolutely did that. And so if I can do that, I can do anything. And I had a kid. Okay. I literally had a kid. I am a whole mom. I did that. Like, I am doing that. I am a whole mom. I am doing that every day. So I can do anything. And sometimes you just have to remind yourself, you know, if I did this, I can do anything. And it could literally be whatever that, like, you know, the biggest, the smallest thing you've ever accomplished. Like, you did that. So you can do whatever else you set your mind to. But that's my proof. And, you know, so I always add that in when it comes to talking about, or, you know, repeating my affirmations to myself, because like I said, sometimes your brain just needs that little extra help to remind you that it is possible. And sometimes I have to bring this up because I almost forgot. Oh my goodness. But sometimes that proof can come from someone else. So last week, of course, I talked about, like, instead of getting bitter when you see people doing things you would love to accomplish or have to have happen for you, use it as inspo that it could happen for you at any given time. Like, it could literally happen for you in 5 minutes. You don't know. Right? So you could use other people as proof, like, oh, it happened for them. Well, if it can happen for them, or if they could do it, then so can I, because we're both humans. So, sometimes, you know, using other people's stories as your inspo and proof for your brain can help as well. But another thing I do is quantum leap meditating. And I'm not going to get too much into what quantum leaping is. You can, of course, use the Google. You can Google what it is, but it is massive, and it is really just shifting your, like, everything. So anyways, the quantum leap meditating that I like to do is a guided one on YouTube, and it's like 15 minutes long, but it goes by really fast. Now I think when it comes to meditating, I truly believe everybody should meditate at least once a day, even for like literally a couple minutes. I think everybody should, but this quantum leap meditation is, oh my God, you just have to try it. Like, it's literally, it is so, oh my God, you just have to try it. Like, it's literally, it is so crazy how much it shifts your energy, like, in that moment. It is just, it's wild. So I'm going to add the link to the show notes, and I'm also going to add it over to Instagram, just so that way it's in both places. But obviously, like, 20 out of 10 recommend. I really do. At least trying it once, even if you're like, you know, if you don't want to do it all the time, like, or often, at least give it a try, because holy Jesus, like, oh my goodness. But the last thing I do to really step into my power, is just doing things that I know make me feel like I am that bad bitch, because I am. We all are. And for me, now, of course, it's going to be different for everybody, because, you know, we're all different. But for me personally, like, I know that when I get a good workout in and I'm throwing weights around, like, and I do at-home workouts, which I think I might have shared on here before, but if you didn't know, I do at-home workouts. But of course I have weights. And so, like, doing those, it just, like, once I'm done with my workout, it just feels so good. Like, if you work out, you know that how it feels. So that is one thing that I make sure to do. And when I do work out, I am very intentional. Always be intentional about everything. I am very intentional about focusing on, like, what I want the outcome, like, what my goals are when it comes to, like, my fitness and health. And I'm also, like, I really focus on, like, what I'm doing in the moment. So I'm not like, I'm just doing this to be a baddie. I'm like, I am literally strengthening my body right now. Like, it's so good for me. I'm, like, pouring in this self-love, and it is incredible. But also, like, yes, I'm a baddie. I'm throwing these weights around. Even if they're not that heavy, I'm still a baddie. But also, like, my outfits, like, putting cute outfits together and, like, doing cute hairstyles, you know, like, different things that, like, make you feel good, like, or, like, things that, like, if you think about, like, you know, your most dream life self, like, things that she does, like, for me, it's, of course, like, coffee dates or good coffee, like, duh. And so I've incorporated that now, like, adding in those things. They help you feel like a baddie, and they put you into your power. Like, they really help you step into your power, because you're obviously taking action. But just to reiterate, of course, I rewrite my mean girl thoughts I use affirmations. I give myself proof that things are possible, whether through my own like triumphs or others. Quantum leap meditation, massive. And of course, like I said, doing things that just give me that energy of like, yes, I am that bad bitch. And it's kind of silly, but oh my God, it's huge. Like, it's just so crazy how much it shifts your energy and how much your energy matters when it comes to literally doing things. And also, like, I don't know about you, but I feel better when I feel better. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather like focus on that and work towards that than the opposite. So anyways, that is what I'm going to leave you with. I absolutely love you. Again, I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you for coming and for always dreaming bigger with me. But I hope to see you